Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next episode of Vinny's Take. Today we're going to talk a little bit about pro wrestling. So, if you don't know me, or if you've only seen my recent videos, you know I follow the NFL a lot, but I'm also, thanks to my father, going back to around 1986, a big pro wrestling fan. Now, I understand before I get all the comments for the people who don't watch this video about, well, you know, it's fake, right? Yeah, I understand, I know what it is. But it's entertainment. You watch Spider-Man? Watch Game of Thrones? Is that real? Okay, so today, making headline news in pro wrestling for not a good thing is Jim Cornette. Now, let me be first to understand this. I do not like Jim Cornette. So before I even get into this rant, I can't stand the guy. First of all, he is one of the rudest liberal commentators on social media, and the way he attacks Republicans and Trump supporters, grown men should be ashamed of the way he talks. But he's not in the news for that. No. He was doing color commentary on a show called NWA Power, which recently started online as this revival of wrestling recently is trying to take off using YouTube and Facebook as a way to get television out there when there's such a limited space on television for pro wrestling. Well, in this week's episode, apparently NWA World Champion Nick Aldis, who casual fans may know more as Mickie James' husband, was wrestling Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch, who worked in the WWE a couple years back as part of a tag team with a partner named Lance Cade, also Garrison Cade. Cade now has passed away, but Murdoch still wrestles. And this is what Jim Cornette said. Before I play this, just note that this is what got him to resign. So if you're a sensitive snowflake, you might want to shut the video off now.
This seriously as he might should. Trevor Murdoch, he's mad, bad, and dangerous to know. He's the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia. Trevor Murdoch can...
It's a stupid joke. It could definitely be construed as a bigoted comment, but it's not something that he hasn't said before. Here is in 1995, while commentating a match between Bob Backlund and some jobber.
If Lawrence Taylor wants to impress somebody, if he wants to impress me, he ought to do something really good. He ought to fly on a commuter plane without a parachute. He ought to hire OJ's defense team and win his case. He ought to strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia. Impress me, Lawrence Taylor.
So we also know he recycles his bad material. But that's not all. He also did it.
Away from you as Big Bubba Rogers, the only man in the world that can strap a bucket of fried chicken on his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia. He's going to win the Bunkhouse Stampede. Big
Bubba Rogers, also known as the Big Boss Man. And that was from 1988. So Jim Cornette not only is insensitive, using stupid crass commentary, but he recycles the same jokes every couple years. Jim Cornette has resigned from the NWA, which he should. The NWA should not work with a guy that is that rude to his own fans. Not just stupid, bigoted jokes on racists, but also claiming how stupid Donald Trump supporters are, or Republicans, just because he doesn't agree with them. But Cornette also has tweeted out that he is going to, on his podcast, have comments on the situation on Friday. I can't wait to see what kind of stupid trouble he gets himself into, because the Lord knows every time he opens his mouth, nothing but dumb shit comes out. Jim Cornette, never been a fan of his. Sure, he knew how to get his charges over as a manager, carrying that dumb tennis racket around, but the 1980s was a good time for managers to use some form of a weapon, whether it was Jimmy Hart's megaphone, Freddie Blassie's cane, the Dr. Styles Slick's cane, Bobby Heenan himself, he would get used to ram into opponents, or whatever it was. Just, that was the shtick with managers in the 80s, and Jim Cornette has never given up playing the heel to the point where he is today one of the most hated men in wrestling. But one last thing about this. There are actually people out there defending him. There are actually people out there saying that this was not something bad. Is it being overconstrued? Sure. But there is other footage out there of Jim Cornette. And I'm not going to play it because it actually does get into much stronger language, the use of the N-word by Cornette himself. And that's why I'm not going to play it, because I don't want it on my own film. But it was posted today on Twitter from a user named Eric Cannon, who's got a blue check mark, official PBR pro wrestler, the anarchist AC at hotmail.com, the masked intruder. I'm not sure who exactly Eric Cannon is, but it's at ARICCANNON. If you want to go hear the language that Cornette actually did use, Cannon posted this. Let's see when. Well, actually, it was posted at 10 p.m. last night, November 19th, 2019. So if you want to go see just some of the stupid language that Cornette has used and thought it was okay to get away with, and find out just what kind of a tool this guy is. And he does not belong. If any other wrestling company, WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, hire this douchebag again, expect a lot of protests. I think it's time for Jim Cornette to ride off into the sunset and finish his days doing his little podcast to his dwindling amount of fans. But that's my take. I know you get accused, well, you were never in the business, how can you say... No, but you know what? I'm also not dumb enough to, first of all, use the same material over and over again, especially when it's now outdated and considered bigotry. And not only that, I'm also not stupid enough to attack my fan base because they may think or vote a different way than me. If there are people out there who watch this video who happen to support somebody I don't agree with, fine, whatever. This isn't a political show anyway, and neither is pro wrestling. But anyway, that's my take. I'm Vinny Vincent. Until next time, God bless America.